So they recently gave the survey numbers out in terms of employment figures and things like that. So there are 1.5 million unemployed people now, which is actually quite a low number, and there's an argument that that's what's causing the shortage of jobs. However, there are 5.6, I think you said 5, it's actually 5.6 million people claiming out of work benefits. So your total non-working population is not 1.5, it's actually 7 million people. Which is more than 10% of our population.
And the reason why that's hidden under the figure of 1.5 million is because since the 80s we've been hiding unemployment figures. It started off with, we're going to sign you off to incapacity benefit. You're not well enough to work, so we'll sign you on to benefits, which is the same as the dole, but you don't have to sign on ever. So people went, I'll take that. Saves me coming out once a fortnight to sign on. But suddenly, unemployment level, it's gone down one, down one. We do it now with mental health. We do it now. You can be signed off now and not have to sign on and be on sickness now if you've got anxiety. I'm anxious. That's okay, sign off. We'll give you even more money. You're on these benefits now, you're on more money than dole. You get paid to be ill now. We've got people now who are working 6 hours a week and claim the rest in benefits. And they're classed as employed. They should be working full time. All these things are hid under these figures, and we've allowed people to make poor choices because it improved the government figures for the next election. We've kept employment down. All these tricks need to go, and we need to tell the people the actual truth of who's unemployed, and then we need to start basically forcing people to earn a living and pay for themselves. And the first thing I would do if I ever became Prime Minister is I would rename our benefit system, and I would call it state charity. And when you go to sign on, I'm here to claim state charity. That's truthful. Incapacity benefit, state charity. Everything would be housing money, state charity. And that's what every form would say. State charity, that's exactly what it is.
And there's an interesting point here, because whilst we're saying there's 7 million unemployed people, which is a horrendous figure, if you're trying to employ people at the moment, there's not many around. Is that because these 6 million people are actually quite happy with the state? It's sufficient for them not to have to work. So we've artificially created a low unemployment, basically.
And
because this isn't good for business, is it?
Well, most of these people have no skills either. So you would employ most of these people for what you need them for, because our education system let them down, and our aspiration within our community and our nation let them down. So most of these people have been raised since 12 years old saying to themselves, "We'll sign on, just like my mum, just like my dad. I'm not going to try hard at school. My mum's not been to school, and look, she's got a big TV and got a house paid for by the council, and And so we've created a whole new profession of people who are just recipients of state charity. And I don't blame them. I know many of these people. Some of my relatives are these people. I don't blame them per se. And they're not fulfilling their lives. They're just existing. And what I want to do is give them purpose in life. And what I want to do is get them off the dole, get them working full time, getting them going home knowing they've done hard day's work for a fair pay. And wages are going to have to go up. If we don't want to rely on cheap immigrant labour, wages we pay in this country will have to come up. So it will be better for them to be working full time, because they'll earn more money than sitting on the dole. At the moment, you're better off on the dole. You'll work out with basically the same amount of money. You've got no travel costs. You've got no lunch costs. You have to buy uniforms. You're not stressed. That's a much better option than doing a minimum wage job. And then every now and again you'll get a bit of work on the side. You get even more money.
And you're not blaming them, because what they're doing is human nature.
What they're doing is perfectly legal.
Yes.
You can't blame someone for playing the game our government is created for them to play. It's not their fault. They're victims of our welfare system as well.
But it's interesting, you're saying wages will have to go up if for this to work. But wages are going up anyway, because by creating this situation where people are comfortable on their state benefits or whatever, you're automatically depleting the working population, making it tougher for it's a vicious circle, isn't it? This
only if you're looking at skilled jobs.
Yes.
So we don't have a shortage of unskilled people in this country. If you started a takeaway delivery service where you live now on electric bikes, you'd get 1 million applicants tomorrow.
Really?
Nearly all would be immigrants.
Right.
We've got no shortage of unskilled labour in this country.
Right.
We've got far too much of it. That's why the government keeps having to put up the minimum wage. If there was no cheap immigrant labour in this country, the minimum wage, we wouldn't need it, and wages, low skill wages would have to go up for businesses to attract the people to do the jobs. But because we have an oversupply of cheap labour, what you're talking about is semi-skilled people and skilled people. And that's a failure of our education system. So we're not educating people and training people to do those jobs. So there's a shortage, always been a shortage for decades now. And when you want to employ someone like that now, we start approaching the Home Office going, can I give this Indian guy a visa because I need someone in order to... That's a failure of our planning as a government. That the good jobs we have, we've now got to give someone who doesn't even live in the country the job. That's a failure of us as a nation to train. Our workers are no more stupid than Indians. We created the modern world, for God's sake. But our education system now is not fit for purpose, and we have an overarching culture now in our country that we don't have to work if we don't want to. I don't want to try hard. If I try hard, I might fail. That might upset me. Best not to try. And we need to put a stiff boot up the backside of many people in this country. And I know this to be true because I was one of those people for my teens and most of my 20s. I was one of them. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.